Hi, I'm Desmond Day.
I'm Lonny Eagleton.
And in this video, Lonny and I will be reflecting on our experience as musicians, recording and collaborating remotely during a global pandemic. And before we go forward, let's go back to how we met. Lonny is currently in the band Black Veil Brides, about to go on tour across America. And Lonny performed on one of my songs. It's called Dear Angel.
Gone, 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 put on your golden halo, dear angel.
Yeah, so that was a song that we had recorded together a couple years back, and you called me in to play guitar on the song in the studio, and that was our first time working together. And I felt like we had a pretty good chemistry right away, you know, and we kept in touch, and we actually ended up doing a few live gigs around Vancouver after that, which eventually led us into recording a bunch of live performance videos, Dear Angel being one of them.
Gone, 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 put on your golden halo, dear angel.
So yeah, we had quite a bit of experience working together, and then come around that time, the pandemic rolled around, and all of our respective gigs got shut down, you know. Des, you had like a ton of gigs booked around Vancouver performing. You're quite an active performer. You perform like at least 5 nights a week around the city, and those all got canceled due to the pandemic. I was supposed to go on tour at that time with my band Black Veil Brides. That unfortunately got shut down as well. So, you know, although we did keep music in our lives with our projects and stuff, you and I wanted to continue working together in some capacity. So we were like, hey, let's record some songs together.
It's doggy dog world. It's doggy dog world. Out there, yeah.
I recall you reached out to me and you were like, hey, have you ever considered like producing songs, you know? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. It's not really something I do a lot. And you were like, would you want to like produce some songs for me and we can collaborate on them? And, you know, fast forward one global pandemic later, we've recorded a bunch of songs together, and I think it's been a very great relationship.
And a lot of these relationships have blossomed as well. A good friend of mine, Ruben Forsland of Joi Guitars, he would be calling us during these sessions that we would have together and saying, hey, I got this new guitar. It's built out of the floorboards of Jimi Hendrix's family home, and I got the materials from Seattle, and I'd love for you to come over and do a song on these guitars. So together, you and I ended up producing these songs, Purple Sun, and a new one that's coming out soon.
Yeah, and all these little things remind us of who we are.
You're a Hendrix fan.
Oh yeah, I love Hendrix, and yeah, the fact that we were able to record these songs with guitars that were built out of the wood from Jimi Hendrix's childhood home, courtesy of Joi Guitars, that's pretty cool. You know, I think it's a pretty neat thing. So, you know, a song like Purple Sun or Black Gold that we've been working on, those are Hendrix inspired, Hendrix guitar tones, lyrics inspired by Hendrix, and just the overall feel.
And a lot of us as artists go back to that bedroom where we first learned that Hendrix chord, you know?
Oh yeah, the E7 sharp 9.
That's the one, yeah. So you just imagine that era of music stood for wholesome values like love and peace and joy that got them through times that were uncertain. My goal as an artist is to reimagine that era and to bring new light to the musician's story.
I guess that brings us to the music release party that we performed recently here in Vancouver. It was an event that we put on together, and it was, an intimate event with our friends and a bit of an industry networking evening. And we performed these songs live for the first time. We had never played them together. These were all just songs that we crafted together in the studio remotely. And so we put them together live at the show. No rehearsal or anything. We just sat down and played them. And I thought they turned out pretty cool.
And all this rock is my foundation. foundation. On this rock is where I stand, singing, hey, hey, ooh. I will not be moved, I will not be shaken.
All right, so now we're going to talk about a song called Tough Luck. Now, this was a song that we released recently on my YouTube channel. One of the best parts about this song is we got to collaborate with our good friend Brody, who is a singer-songwriter from Vancouver Island. And we're going to bring Brody on right now to, share some stories about the song. How's it going, Brody?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for singing on the track. You sounded so good. I love the way your voice sounds. You really knocked it out of the park.
I love that song so much. Des and I tried to record this, I think it was about 10 years ago when I first heard the song, when I first met Des, and we loved it so much. We tried to kind of get something off the ground then and did a live video, and then we just didn't ever follow up with it. Mm-hmm. And then just during the pandemic, I was like, hey, Des, you want to do like some kind of like, I don't know, something over Zoom, like get together and like work on something. And then we're like, what about that song that I loved of yours? And let's pull it out. Let's see what's going on with it. And then we just kind of put it on. I guess, time flew by, and then Des got back to me saying that you guys had started working on it. I was like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting how that song is relevant today more than ever? A song about fighting for love, and if that's not good enough, you got to move on. And
yeah.
And what was cool about the recording process of this is we were all in different locations, and we all recorded out of our respective home studios. And you can see it in the video that we made accompanying the release of the song. We're all in our own spaces, recording the song at different times with different equipment, but with the grace of modern technology, we're able to put it all together. So, Brody, how was the process for you? I mean, recording remotely.
Yeah, it was fun. I thought it was awesome. I think we make a good team too.
Yeah, I thought we did pretty good. I mean, you sounded so good. Like I keep saying this. You have one of the most calming voices I've heard.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. I'm so happy to be a part of this. So thanks so much again for having me on this. And yeah, I loved working with you both.
We're both here trying to find our one true love, the one we're worthy of. Is that not good enough?
So the next song we're going to look at is one called Bound to Go Down, and this is available on Spotify. You can check it out. You want to tell us a bit about the story of this song, Des, or how the writing process came to be?
I remember the visuals for the music video. It was important that it was a chess game. Sometimes we feel like a pawn in the world, but hey, your imagination sets you free. And Bound to Go Down is actually a spin. That it's not bound to go down that the game is stacked against you. It's bound to go down that love will prevail.
Now you got it coming for you. It's bound to go down. Bound to go down. Bound to go down. If it's bound.
And a lot of these little nuances in the recordings, these are your first songs as a producer.
Yeah, I'd known my way around Pro Tools before this, and I'd done, hundreds of guitar recordings for various artists over the years. But yeah, these were my first sets of full productions that I was proud of in terms of putting out into the world. And thanks, Des, to you for granting me the opportunity to work with the songs you had written and help you bring them to life in that way.
And I'd like to add on to that, and the chemistry, it just seemed to work out perfectly.
Yeah, well, I remember the first song we tried together was Dog Eat Dog World, which we ended up making. We released it. We made a full music video for it too. It just shot on our iPhones, and it was really kind of do-it-yourself thing. It turned out great. And I remember though when we started producing Dog Eat Dog World, the first thing we started with was the kick drum sounds at the beginning. There's like a kind of thing. And I feel like right when we brought in those samples, it was like, oh yeah, this is the direction. This is the sound we're going to do. And we just kind of ran with that.
There was this idea that it sounded military-like. It sounded like
Right.
it was going to war, right?
Yeah.
And here we are, two soldiers in the music video walking through post-apocalyptic scenario where there's a shopping mall. You remember this?
Yeah, well, so right by my apartment, there's a shopping mall, and we met there. And this was, beginning of the pandemic. This was, March or April 2020. And the mall closed. All the stores closed. But oddly enough, you could still go in the mall. You just couldn't go in any stores. So I don't even know why they had it open that way. But so we're like, oh, let's go shoot a video in the mall. We had an entire mall to ourselves, like the biggest mall in Vancouver. We were the only people in it. And we're like, oh, let's film a music video for Dog Eat Dog World. And we were like, what would be a cool concept? And we're like, it's always cool when music videos have some sort of extra element in it that makes no sense, right? And we're like, why don't we I think it was my idea, maybe. I was like, why don't we walk around with umbrellas even though it's not raining? That seems like something that people would do in a music video. And then that's what we did.
And this lyric came, is your allegiance to the machine, or do you know and receive the power of love? The power of love. Is your allegiance to the machine, or do you know and receive the power of love? Oh, and the live version at the music release. The power of love. The power of love, the power of love.
What I love about that lyric too, do you know and receive the power of love, is it sends us into kind of a guitar battle. And I that's one of my favorite moments in the song, for sure.
To go full circle on the conversation, is this pinnacle moment of the last year and a half. And I feel like what we're doing is a valuable commodity. I do believe that, because we're able to take what's going on in the world right now and provide an escape. This idea of a little seed of hope, a little bit of, foresight, and that we're going to make it through this,